Hello gamers and welcome to the analysis of my game against bot 11 and the changes we will make to the division afterwards. He said it's like a huge map, a bit too big for 1v1. He is actually kind of right. It's a huge map, but I guess some people might like it. I had a decent KD, but obviously KD doesn't win you games. The control zones do. And yeah, I got some easy snipes here on his helicopters as well, which was part of it. I think the initial problem was I didn't push into enough zones. Only like 2, 3, 4, 5, and he had like I gave up Boris, which was a mistake. I think I should have gone into Boris instead of trying to accumulate troops and then push into Boris, because he had lots of ATGM troops. Okay, here we see his deployment. Very central. He brought his troops first and then vehicles, which I think is very common and possibly the way to go, because as you could see, he was so strong in his positions that I couldn't push him out, and he held the positions. You can, if you position hard into the center, like the deciding zone, basically, you can always go for it. And he just brings one mud, and the mud will drive here everywhere, and one unit was over here. Yeah, here I started building up. And yeah, he's got stingers to cover it, ITOs. I actually want to quickly check in Protoss's tier list from December, which rank they are. 25th camp is actually only like lower B tier, like lower mid B tier, just a little bit below the division I played. 25th tank. Which kind of explains maybe why I didn't suffer too hard, despite him being the clearly better player with much more experience. It was a bit unfortunate that I early on lost the Grad to his Air Force, which was a nice strike here. He lost his plane, but still, that was a massive blow. It's quite expensive. The second one was already here, but it's 220 points. It's like also like the strategy of this that I had in mind. Yeah, so that was a problem, I think. Also, all these ITOs, they're just 50 points, and they, in numbers. I need more numbers to push against them, but he just needs less points for it. So that's really problematic. If you look at what he can see, he sees my BMP, he sees my tank, he sees my Strela actually. Strela deployment a bit too aggressive here.
Be careful. Enemies
You can see what I see, even less. You probably saw my tank there. Yeah, he still sees it. That's obviously bad. Yeah, there was no way I could have sensibly pushed against this. Just too much going on. I would have had to push through here. He nicely defends this, though. He doesn't use those units that military police to buff his troops. I think I didn't even bring all the tanks, so the tanks were too expensive, in this 1v1 setting. Too much artillery. I didn't bring 2 Mistars. I couldn't have. I think 2 Well, I bought 3, I think, for counter battery. Oh no, I actually brought them all because I lost this one. Then I brought another one, and then eventually I brought 2 for counter battery. That's maybe a bit too much. Here you can see he buffs his units here with military police. It also reduces suppression. He's moving his units nicely. Now the Gulf actually was quite helpful in this situation. Yeah, could take out some Abrams rather easily. That was a bit surprising. Only 18 front armor, 17 damage. That's actually not too great. M1 IP Abrams. And then, yeah, the AI. And the National Guards one. Obviously, they get easily suppressed. Yeah, not great, actually. Another problem often this map was for me, obviously, because such a large map, the distance between the forward supply point and the Grad was quite substantial. But I think having the Grad as such, I mean, we will look at the KD again. And using the forward supply point is viable, but maybe gets another helicopter. One charge is, does it say here? 800. So you get 6,000 on a vehicle. So that's like not even 10 per vehicle, but 10 Grad shots maybe you can do. So it's probably best to go for the helicopter instead of the forward supply point in a 1v1 setting. It will be enough. And I can bring it out later, and I don't need to ruin my deployment. I was really bad with my HE bombers. I didn't call them back on time. Like Q orders. Chaparral. Actually, his AA wasn't too great. I didn't really exploit it. See here, it's still circling instead of going home. It's really bad. Yeah, we will see a Grad shot now. This was a moment where I was a bit hopeful. But as you can clearly see, the Schmel I should have used more. But there was only like 5 minutes left. So this would have been a 0. I would have stopped him ticking me by taking this. Yeah, and get the point here, but obviously that's not... Yeah, unfortunately the IFV here hit me. He's going for my drone. Unfortunately he hits. There's no AA coverage left here. That's very bad. Obviously. The Mista going for the IFV. Starting it at least. Helping me to win that fight. Against the powerful TOW 2s. And that's quite costly. Well, only 75 points actually. It's not too bad. Yeah, and there's the defeat. Let me take a quick look at the Grad. If it actually justified the... Yeah, I think it did. This is like... I think it, brought me more points than it cost me, so that's good. But we need to tweak the division nonetheless, in my opinion. But it's not going to be my favorite division. That's what I can already say. I don't feel it. There's a lack of infantry that I dislike, even though there's currently not really an infantry meta. But personally, I don't like it. So this is like... Can I close the chat? Yeah. This is like 16,000. So if I was to remove this and take the Gruzhevoy helicopter instead, it would still give me like... I mean, that's 800 supply, right? It's like 2 shots per Gruzhevoy. I don't really think that's enough, to be fair. Let's use that. And how much is that? That is 1,000. This is 2,000. This is 1,500. No, I think we need to leave the forward supply point in. Question is, do I want the smaller trucks for survivability? This is 1,000 supply. And the coupe needs 300. Yeah, I think it's better in this case to go more expensive, but spread things out a bit more and use them, to run back to the... Oh, I can't. I see. Okay, there's only like Yeah, I don't have the card twice, unfortunately. Let's bring this. Yeah, okay. Infantry is really bad. Not having an infantry leader is really bad. I think this is something I need to change for sure. Also, the Pulamichiki, just not good. 7-man strong. I have so few infantry. Motostrelki BMP is actually cheaper. 6 AK 74, 3 medium machine guns. I mean, 3 medium machine guns ain't bad. I'm not sure. They can come in the BMP2, the Pulamichiki only in the BMP1, and I get more on the card with the Motostrelki. I think I need to go for the Motostrelki. It's also the vehicle. You know, the BMP1 conquers in comparison here. Let's actually compare that properly. Can I select this, please? One sec. So let's go for this. And let's compare. The BMP1 has the tank gun, but I think the autocannon will help me more against infantry. In particular, ATGM infantry. Yeah, let's change that. Take the BMP2 and the Motostrelki BMP single vetted. There we go. And I do need a leader. So we need to throw out the Saperi, my only CQC unit, but CQC I'm lost anyway, to be fair. And I think it's more important to have a leader. That could come in the BMP with ATGMs, with grenade launchers. Not sure if they are good now, but let's use it. Oh, there's an autocannon. Yeah. Let's bring this leader. We need a leader. Yeah. Artillery, was a bit overkill, I think. I've got this one instead of the Jiatzin. Was it in here before? The range is better for the Jiatzin, which means it won't fall down that much. It doesn't have this dual use function as the Mista. Damage output is the same. And the Mista has more ammunition. Aiming time is the same. Supply costs are much higher for the Mista, but that's because it's also got more ammunition. I think we stick to the Mista. One thing we could do is like up that, but yes, reload time goes down quite a bit actually. But we need to move around anyway. I might actually get rid of one grad. Well, we'll see. We'll get rid of some tanks, I think. It's too many tanks, and there are no cheap tank options. That's so annoying. So, I definitely... Why is this tank cheaper? Let's check. Yes, the command... The other tank is a bit better. With the armor here. With the EIRA. What's the difference here? It's the AT missile and the EAR for 15 points. Armor is the same, main gun is the same. But I think, yeah, we need more of the expensive ones. Also, let's check this one. This has EAR, same gun. I mean, I double vetted it, which makes it quite nice, but it doesn't have the rocket. Yeah, let's dish this. I mean, this is super cheap, but still, let's ditch it. And this is my only cheap tank option. Amazing gun. Is it worth unvetting? I think it will get stressed too much. But I can upvet it with an accompanying leader. For that reasoning, I mean, I could get it double vet, obviously with a leader. I think I will unvet it just to have more availability of cheap tanks, which was desperately lacking in this matchup, I think. Question is, do I need all these double vetted tanks because they only have Cobra, don't have EAR? Let's ditch one of these. So this opens up some points that I do want to spend on an AT helicopter for sure. I feel like we needed an AT helicopter, to be frank. Dealing with some of those units, and also as like an emergency response. So let's get this is our only option, so let's get it. This was actually quite nice and cheap, so I like that. Not sure if this is viable, but yeah, let's check. Yeah, I think this is better now. Still 18 tanks, 18 expensive tanks that I need to keep alive, I should add. We've got this one. Double vetting is out of question. Shall I keep this or shall I go for this one? I think I will go. The BRDM2 is just a heavy machine gun and a medium machine gun. So I think going for the BRM1K gives me a fighting chance against IFVs. And the question is also, do I need the Recon helicopter? Would be quite helpful with the tank push, but then again, I've got the Schmel as well. So maybe not. Not necessary. AA with the Coups unvetted. I think that's the right call. It's just 5% points. The Strela was good compared to the Biryusha. The Strela doesn't have... It's a bit worse against aircraft, but it doesn't have radar, so I don't need to micro it. And the availability is slightly better, so let's stick to that. Obviously, we keep the Igla. I didn't bring all of the Iglas, but I think 50% is enough. I don't want to go for this extra point here and lose 3 in the process. Air Force. I think Seed is currently not really the matter. Let's ditch the Seed plane. The rocket planes are not good. I just heard on a guide video. Not that good at the moment. I'm inclined to get the AT plane. I mean, we've got all those tanks, but it might be nice to take out that single pesky unit. I've got 2 points left. We could spend it in the artillery tab, in the tank tab. We could get 2 more tanks, or in the helicopter tab. Given our lack of, well, we could go for AA to protect my helicopters, tanks against other helicopters. I think this is a good idea. Another question is then, do I need more power against... Oh, this is actually an anti-tank missile as well. Let me rethink my choices here. So we've got this one, we've got this one. Which one is better? AT has more AT missiles and less air to ground. So let's stick to the AT, but the AT is actually also against the infantry. Availability is the same, it's miserable. Let's get 2 of these. Oh no, I can't, because I got the AA plane. Should I upvet these even further? I think it might be overkill. And we need some tanks. This is like my main fighting line. I might have too many leaders now, though. I could ditch 1 leader, because I added the infantry leader. But I must keep the leader alive. If I was to ditch that leader, we could vet them more. And then get 1 of them. Let's actually have 3 of these for the main push. I won't be able to buy many more anyway. It's like It's like an entire minute. And if I support it with sufficient AA and helicopters and stuff, I think this is more than enough. Yeah, but they must be kept alive. But that's the thing. No easy losses. I think this is how I'm going to roll it. We've got this AT plane new. This is something we could ditch for more tanks. Could get 2 more tanks if that doesn't work out. But I think it might be helpful in certain situations. More helpful than just another expensive tank. Let me know what you think of this amended build. And let me take a screenshot. And yeah, how do you like the division? Let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Also, you can wish for the next divisions to be covered. Just leave a comment. But the next 2 will be the latest Nemesis DLCs. Thanks a lot for watching. Until then, bye for now.